गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. For being as you are, in essence, nothing is required to be done. For being water by a wave, nothing needs to be done because it already is. That itself is the realization. Then how come we are trying so hard, putting so much efforts in order to be that reality? It is only because we have accepted that we are separate from it. We have accepted that it is far away, that it is not accessible, that it is not already there, and thus a journeyless journey begins. And the journey is called seeking, sadhana. Yesterday Bhagavatam said, no amount of gods, no rituals, no charity, nor austerity, nor renunciation, nor invoking the fire, Havan, nor righteousness, nor dispassion, even to this extent, not even the study of scriptures can make you realize. Why? Because you are already that. Then what needs to be done then? Again the question comes, what needs to be done? This doing is the virus. When there is acceptance that I am this body, then nothing else needs to be done. Once you accept that I am a man or a woman, nothing else needs to be done. We are not accepting ourselves to be the substratum, and thus all doing begins. And this can be curtailed, dissolved, this doing can be dissolved, and Lord Shri Krishna, without any compromise, he says that those who are very dearest to me are the ones who are going to satsang, not doing all those things what we mentioned before. Satsang means what? Sat means existence, sang means company of. So when we are in the company of truth, Sat, or pure existence, that is the true satsang. That also we water it down by not understanding it. And satsangs with whom? Satsang with those masters who are already abiding in the self, those who are great devotees of the Lord. Just expose yourself to the satsang. It may begin with the outside satsang, like it is right now, but only in a satsang you are again and again prodded to seek the company of the self that you already are. And someday the penny will drop. Satsange satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. So says Adi Shankaracharya ji. That the more we are in satsang, in the company of the truth, to that extent we are not in the company of the world. Nissangatvam. We get detached to everything. Nissangatve nirmohatvam. The more we get detached, that is the byproduct. That is not the main goal. Goal is satsang. The more we get detached, the delusion which was covering our eyes, our mind, that starts getting lifted away. The veil gets lifted away as the mind gets detached from all the unnecessary notions, emotions, conclusions, convictions, attachments, relations, possessions, etc., etc. Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam. Moha is delusion. Nir is with dissolution of delusion. Nirmohatve nischalatatvam. As the delusion which was caused on account of activity, and in turn activity was on account of company of untruth, the unreal, the changing, the asat. When all this starts subsiding, Nischala Tattvam. Nischala means without any waves, absolutely calm. The mind becomes pure. Nischala means without any agitation. Without any sankalpa vikalpa, no options, no thoughts. Everything starts subsiding. Thought is also an activity. All this starts merging back into its own source. And mind becomes calm. And in that calm mind, waveless mind, Nischala Tattve Jivan Mukti. In that calm, pure, unagitated waters of the mind, the sun of the self fully, brightly is accessed. It was always there. But because of our addiction to doing, which created in turn many, many thoughts, and because of the appearance of thoughts, that which was always there was not cognized, was not available to us. But the moment mind becomes calm, tranquil, without doing anything, the self becomes abundantly available as I, as the self. It is only the company of the saints and sages that prompts us to be in the company of the self. True satsang is company of the self. Self is Sat, Chit Anand. So satsang. We can't search for truth out there. When it is our essential nature, it is closer than the closest. But because of old habits, default settings, we keep thinking. Thinking is going away from the core. So when we seek, when we accept once and for all this core as our being, then that we are. Left alone, at times, for an unprepared student, seeker, it is very difficult to come to the core. He may touch it for a moment and then miss it for the rest of the day. But how to remain steady in that core. When we go to a satsang, out of reverence, respect, out of gratitude, blessings, the words of the masters effortlessly glide us to our own being, because we are subjective, because we are in love with the theme of the self. And for 1 hour, 2 hours, without any interruption, without any corruption, we are able to be with ourselves as we are. We didn't put any efforts. All we did was we made available ourselves without any preformed notions, to the living masters, to the satsang. The teacher, the master may speak or may not speak. But one thing is for sure, in their presence, their love, their abidance, the fragrance of it affects us also. And once we taste that, again and again and again, without putting any efforts, just by being there, serving the master, listening to the master, or just by being in the presence of the great master, just by watching him, just by listening to him, effortlessly, we glide back to being who we are essentially. And then a point comes that now the support of the master is no longer needed. You may be in his company, but even when you are not in the company of the master, in satsang with him, still that abidance is not corrupted anymore. And that is true satsang.